Welcome to M&M Sports Podcast number 52. We're going to start with the Royals tonight and then transition to a little football. Brian coming off that 6-game homestand, it was a 9-game homestand, but when we last talked, they had 6 games remaining. We were hoping for 5-1. We get 3-3. Bobby Witt Jr. has been out the last 2 games, and he is out of the lineup tonight. So, facing an uphill battle. 4 games at Cleveland, 3 at Philly. No Bobby Witt Jr. in the lineup again. Here we are. They're 2 games out of a playoff spot at this very moment. So, like I've said, you have to give them credit for hanging in there. But at the same time, they had another base running gaff the other day. It's a whole lot of the same. Injuries combined with hurting their own cause.
The mistakes that you're talking about, Eric, these aren't mistakes that the team that did well in 14 and 15 were making. Mm-hmm. They excelled in those situations. They were able to play small ball, put bunts down, base hits, keep the line moving, steal bases, force the defense into some bad plays. This offense is not doing that without Bobby Witt Jr. in the lineup, whether it be on the offensive or defensive side. I mean, that's a big hole not only a big hole to fill, we can't fill that hole. There's nobody on our roster capable of filling that spot.
Exactly.
There's few people in the league capable of filling that. So
it'll have to be a team effort.
Yes. So
to make up for his absence in the lineup.
I mean, like you said, here we are. We're still relevant. We're not out by any stretch of the imagination, but we've got to start putting some games together quick here if we're going to get to that postseason.
Right. Yeah, currently at 73 and 70. Like I said, 2 games behind Seattle, so it's still feasible. It's still possible. They have 19 games left. I'm not going to throw out numbers. We know they're going to have to win X amount of those to have an opportunity. It's that simple. They need to go on the road here and survive. And hope they can at least maintain.
Yeah, exactly.
Just maintain until you get home. If they're 2 games out when they come home, that would be what most people would hope for realistically.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be a solid road trip, right?
Right.
I mean, that would exceed most expectations. So, and we do our part. Who knows? Seattle could slip up here or there.
Right.
They could drop a game they're not supposed to. We could cut into that. Even by not going out and dominating opponents, there's a chance we could make up a little ground just due to other teams losing.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
And I want to expand on this a little bit more. Regardless of what happens this year, let's go ahead and let's look towards the next year real quick. Here's kind of how I view things. And boy, it's a lot different than the past. Right now I see the Royals as having very solid ownership. Under John Sherman and other minority owners. I see J.J. Piccolo in the running for executive/GM of the year with the moves that he's made this year. I mean, his moves alone have really helped to put them in the position they're in right now. Yeah, I'm not going to break them all down, but he's made a hell of a lot more good trades and moves than bad ones, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said it before, I was underwhelmed by a lot of the moves he made, but I mean, damn, they have paid off. They paid dividends. Without those moves,
right,
we are not in the hunt right now.
So yeah, ownership, Piccolo. When I'm talking ownership, I'm talking locking Bobby Witt Jr. up.
Yeah.
I'm talking about signing Seth Lugo. I know that hasn't gone well. I'm still very confident that guy will come back next year and be the Seth Lugo we're accustomed to. So I'm talking about those 2 things. Now, here's where things get a little different. In the past, the Royals have been known for doing the little things very well. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. Next year, they're going to need to clean these things up.
They are.
But that's something that can be done.
Sure.
Give me the solid ownership, the GM that's done a great job, and the talent that we have. I'll repeat that, the talent that we have, because there was a time when we were lacking talent as well.
Oh, sure.
So we have all the components that you need to be a contender for years to come, in my opinion. And these little things need to be cleaned up, and I think they will figure that that part out.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely get there. The one thing people need to realize is you are talking ownership. Now, our ownership, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, Eric, but our ownership has done more with less.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not a big market team where we have a $300+ million payroll.
Sure.
We're never going to come near that. We're going to hover around that $100 to $125 million payroll range, and we've got to find ways to get the diamond in the rough out there that can give us solid numbers, and then every once in a while give a guy like Bobby Witt Jr. this contract, or whoever else it may be. But yeah, I just want people to realize we're not all of a sudden going to go out and spend money, but they've done a great job of spending it when it's deserved, when it's necessary.
Right. I thought you were going to use my 2 words, spend wisely.
There you
that
go.
Would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Because for smaller markets,
Yep.
you can't afford to just throw money away.
No.
Yeah, you have to be very, very smart and tactful with how you spend.
Absolutely.
And they've done a great job
They
of
have.
that.
I agree with you.
Like I said, going into next year, we need to clean up little things. If that means bringing maybe an additional coach in, you know what I'm saying? Somebody to help them focus on those base running issues that they've had.
Yeah, they've had an abundance.
Because you can't ignore that and just hope that it gets better. You have to take some action.
Yeah, I mean, you can hope, you can pray all you want. It's not.
Right.
It's not going to get better.
It's been really bad this year.
So
really bad.
Let's make that a priority in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be. That wouldn't be asking too much.
It's got to be
Clean that up.
It's got to be near the top of their list for sure.
You're right.
That's got to be near it. And we've talked about this signing an outfielders, and they may want to sign Yastrzemski or Frazier maybe to a 1-year deal or something, and then maybe bring in an additional guy as well.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see on that. But those 2 guys have been fantastic.
They have been, and neither one of them will carry that big of a price tag.
Right.
Not compared to what other guys will.
And one last thing, Sal is at 298 right now, so 2 homers shy of 300, and I believe 3 RBIs short of 1,000. So that can happen here in this series at Cleveland. So something for fans to keep an eye on. A couple milestone numbers for a player that we believe is going to end up in the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
The captain.
Yep. Okay, Brian. Huskers on Saturday. Yep, they played Akron. Everybody knows Akron is no powerhouse. I don't care. 68-0. That hasn't happened in a long time. Shutouts don't happen that frequently anymore for any college team. So, quick grade when I went through everything, I'm going to give them a solid B+.
Good.
I wanted to go with an A, but they did have the 6 penalties for 71 yards and the 1 turnover. But man, they played a solid game.
They played
solid game.
They did, Eric. You talking about some of these numbers? I want to throw a couple out at you real quick.
Video game numbers.
They were. 490 yards passing, second most ever by the Husker team. Mm-hmm. Granted, that was a combination of the 2 quarterbacks, but while we're at that, backup quarterback TJ Lateef had more passing yards than Iowa's starting quarterback Saturday.
128, I believe, is what Lateef had. 128.
That's unreal. First shutout by the Husker Black Shirts since 2009.
Wow. That's crazy.
Most points scored by the Big Red in 13 years.
I had somebody ask me that earlier. I was guessing maybe somewhere, in that 10 to 15 year window.
Here's a really fun one for you. This was the largest margin of victory since 1982. Can you believe that?
I didn't research that, and no. I would have guessed it would have been somewhere in that 94 to 2001 range.
Evidently, the 68 points was...
Isn't that...
And my research could be wrong, but that's what I came up with today.
That's just wild.
Right? This was Dylan Raiola's first career 300-yard passing game. Emmett Johnson had a career-high rushing. No punts. Archie Wilson, I was excited. I was at the game Saturday night.
So were his parents, I believe.
Were they?
Yeah.
And they didn't even get to see.
They said they were all right. They're all right.
Yeah.
They would have liked to maybe seen one, but they understand how the game works.
Yeah.
And no punts means
punts is good.
Things went well.
I saw him punt in warm-ups.
Right.
So
he'll get some in before the year's over.
728 yards of offense.
Yep.
Most since 14. We moved to 9-1 all time against MAC teams. Mm-hmm. The last time we lost to one was Northern Illinois and Mike Riley's last year in 17.
Okay.
So that's a stat that you don't want very often. You don't want to be that coach that was associated with that.
Right. Here, I want to I'm going to throw Akron a little praise.
Okay.
Huskers had 6 penalties for 71 yards. Akron had 1 for 5 yards.
That's
one
crazy.
penalty for 5.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
wow.
If you're looking for a positive as an Akron fan, there you go.
There it is.
Right.
There it is.
It was another pretty clean game for Nebraska.
Yeah,
with a lot more excitement.
The one drive in particular on defense, they had a couple penalties on. Mm-hmm. I think they gave up a big chunk of those penalties on that one drive.
Okay.
So I'm okay with that. You know, I think there's a couple pass interference or defensive holding calls.
Sure. 9 touchdowns, 1 safety, 1 field goal, and 9 extra points as far as our scoring. Little variety there as far as the safety mixed in. They almost got 2 safeties in a quarter.
They did.
That would have been something.
Dylan Raiola set a school record. 20 straight completions dating back to the Cincinnati game.
Yes, yeah.
Beating the record of Dave Hum, which was only 15.
Right.
Kind of remarkable that our school record was 15 straight completions, but
sure,
he obliterated that. He's looking pretty good through 2 games.
He is. I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's taking what the defense is giving him.
He's doing great. Yeah. It's just everybody knows, bigger tests are on the way. But, yeah, he's done as good as can be expected right now.
Here's what I've told people, though. They've told me, well, it was Akron. Okay, I get that. But 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever the case is, this is like a 42-14 type of game that we win.
Right.
Not 68-0.
Right.
So the fact that our defense blocked a field goal in the third quarter to preserve the shutout. Mm-hmm. Akron missed a field goal at the end of the half. I mean, our crowd, they were wanting that shutout. To see our coaching staff, to see Matt Rule kind of let these kids just play. He didn't get bogged down in just trying to run the clock out. He let the reserves play. He let them throw the ball. He let them run the ball. Whatever the case was, he didn't handicap them.
Right.
And it gave those kids legitimate playing time, which we haven't seen out of our backups in years.
Sure. Yes.
That's huge.
First couple games, well, definitely this one, reminiscent of the old days as far as second and third string kids getting a lot of reps.
A lot of reps. Much needed reps.
Yes.
What's the Houston Christian Huskies going to throw at us, Eric?
I haven't done a ton of research on Houston Christian. I know they are a FCS team.
Yes.
But that doesn't, that doesn't mean they might be a better challenge than Akron, It doesn't mean they're going to be a pushover per se.
They're 1-1 on the year. I can tell you that. They lost to Eastern Kentucky
and beat
20-10
and beat Arkansas Baptist 69-0.
Their quarterback, he's done a fairly good job. He completes about 50% of his passes. Mm-hmm. He's thrown for just under 300 yards for the year. They have a pretty solid running back. He's put up 200 yards. But
I hope they show us some looks that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
In any aspect would be great.
Yeah, anything we can
offensively
use to build.
or defensively, something that we haven't seen to help us just prepare for the games to come.
Absolutely. Any surprises outside of the Huskers this weekend for you, Eric? Were there any games?
Yeah, I jotted down, South Florida over Florida was a big upset.
Yes.
Yep. South Florida now has wins over Boise State, the University of Florida, at the Swamp, I believe. Yep, they won at the Swamp, and now they have Miami coming up.
Wow. I mean, good for them. That's great. Go out and knock those big guys off.
And then Army over the K-State Wildcats. I thought K-State would be ready to play, and maybe Army was just too much for them. That game over in Ireland didn't go their way, losing to Iowa State, and then they escaped with a close win last weekend. So I thought that might be the wake-up call that they need. But like I said, Army always comes ready to play.
They do.
So K-State may have come ready. I didn't watch that game, and they may have still lost because Army just you don't want to play those schools.
Nope. What? But Wildcat fans, you guys are one drive away from being 0-3 to start the year,
right?
And your schedule is only going to get tougher from here on out.
Sure.
I'm not saying they won't improve or be better, but that's not a. You never want to be 1-2 after your first 3 games.
Exactly. Yeah, South Florida with the 34-7 win going back to them over Boise, and then 18-16 at the Swamp, and they're catching 16 points this weekend at Miami.
So who knows here? You
have an 18th ranked South Florida team going to number 5 Miami this weekend. So that'll be fun to follow and see if South Florida can keep this momentum going.
Absolutely.
And the other big upset was Mississippi State, an SEC school, playing at home in a night game, knocked off number 12 Arizona State.
Okay.
And I'll just put it like this: that game didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's one that I looked at and thought, I could see Mississippi State possibly pulling the upset. Mm-hmm. That's a bad matchup for Arizona State, especially in a night game at any SEC school.
Sure, yeah. Nobody wants to go to an SEC
right,
school.
But no, those were the 3: South Florida over Florida, Army over K-State, Miss State over Arizona State. Everything else pretty much went according to how they were supposed to go.
Yeah,
those were the big surprises. Michigan with a loss at Oklahoma.
That didn't surprise me.
That was just a normal game where the home team did what they were supposed to do, won by, 10 or 11, I believe.
Something like that.
Yep. As Big Ten fans, I was rooting for Michigan to win for that reason in itself.
The Big Ten overall is in pretty good shape, though.
Sure.
I think Michigan was our only loss out of our rated teams this week.
Right.
So everybody else just kind of took care of business.
Did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah. Nebraska, they're still on the outside looking in of the rankings, but that's fine. That's I'm not worried about that at all.
Anybody that would say, why aren't they ranked, I'd say, who cares?
Yeah, what's the matter?
It
right?
doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
what's the matter? We're 2-0.
It does not matter.
With barring some crazy circumstance, we're going to be 3-0, and we're still going to be unranked.
You win your next 2 games, you will be ranked.
Yes.
Yep.
You're right. If we get to 4-0, we'll be there, and we'll deserve it.
Sure.
But until we get to that point, they're not just going to hand us something.
No.
I mean, and by all means, we don't deserve it yet.
You don't get a trophy for being in the top 25 3 or 4 weeks into the year anyway. So
No. Thank God, right?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yep. Anyway, 11 a.m. kickoff Saturday versus Houston Christian. So let's just tell like it is. It's going to be one more tune-up before that first big game versus Michigan the following weekend.
And I like that 11 o'clock kickoff for this game. It's a little different.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have this as a night game because the fans aren't going to be into it anyway.
No, the night games we want are the ultra-competitive schools.
Absolutely. I mean,
give us the night game
I
every
would rather
time.
have Michigan at night in that.
Yep.
But Saturday was the first night game I've been to in years.
Okay.
I don't go to them usually because I don't like driving home that late afterwards. But it was the first time I've got to see the light show going into the fourth quarter in person. Mm-hmm. That was fun. That was a spectacle with the drones and everything.
Yeah, I witnessed that with the Illinois game last year, and it is a sight to behold for sure.
Yeah, they do a great job of that.
It's fun.
The fans love it. Anytime you can do something like that to get the fans.
Oh, yeah.
And in this case, it kept that stadium full going into the fourth quarter because otherwise people were going to be heading for the gates. So it was a great way to keep people in their seats.
A reason to hang around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. When Michigan rolls around, we're going to give some predictions, but there's no need to do that yet. Let's wait until this next game's over, and then we'll give some predictions on the Huskers.
My only prediction is Huskers big this week.
Yeah,
that's it.
Maybe not 68 zip big, but big.
I don't expect that again, but it'll still be.
It'll be hard to replicate that.
It will.
Yep. All right, NFL. Let's backtrack to that Thursday game.
Yes,
that would be the defending champions, Philadelphia Eagles, playing Dallas. I believe. People, you go ahead and roll your eyes. I said Philly would win by 4 points.
Yep.
Philly won by 4 points.
Yep.
Brian was bold and picked an upset, and Dallas was right there with an opportunity to do just that.
Yep.
It was a good game. I think about an hour delay in there that pushed things back, so some people might not have stayed up for the whole thing.
I did not. They lost me when they went into the weather delay.
Dallas went in there and they competed. I mean, that's kind of what Brian and I talked about. Sometimes I think they do embrace that underdog role.
Yeah.
They seem to anyway.
They gave them all they could handle.
And Philly lost a player early on who made we'll just call it a silly mistake.
Bonehead.
Right.
You know, if I'm that guy's mom, I'm slapping him in the face. That is just stupid.
Shame on you. Yes.
There's nothing more disrespectful than spitting in someone's face. That's all I'm going to say, but I'm done. And
somewhat of a selfish act when you consider he's hurting his team by getting ejected before the game even starts.
Yeah. No, there hadn't been an offensive play yet. Right. Come on, dude.
We'll end it there.
Yep.
Be better.
Yep, be better.
Okay. Yeah, but it was, like I said, ended up went right down to the end. Competitive game. Philly did what they were supposed to do. They went at home and moved to 1-0. Dallas with a great effort, 0-1, and see what this weekend brings for those two teams. Next game, Friday night, Chargers versus KC in Brazil, which was a home game for the Chargers. If I was a Chargers fan, I wouldn't be happy about that, but that happens to somebody every year.
It does, sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Anyway, it didn't affect them. Once again, a hell of a game. Kansas City loses Xavier Worthy early on, not to a silly mistake, but an injury.
Well, kind of a silly mistake because they ran into each other.
Yeah,
right?
I'm saying, not to the extent of the Philadelphia player.
Not a boneheaded mistake like that. Yeah, no
friendly or unfriendly fire.
Exactly.
One might say.
Sure.
Yep, running into his teammate Travis Kelce. So yes, that didn't help their cause. Already playing down Rashee Rice. Xavier Worthy leaves early, so they are fighting a bit of an uphill battle against a really good Chargers team.
Yeah, you can't come against the Chargers and expect to win without being fully loaded and ready to go.
Right. Anyway, it was a super competitive division game like we talked about. This division is going to be a fight all year long. Whoever wins this baby is going to have to earn it.
Yeah, and Chiefs fans, don't worry. You're gonna be right there.
Yeah, we're not going to go.
I guarantee it.
We're not going to go through all the stats, but Chiefs fans,
you're going to be fine.
If there was any frustration, honestly, I thought it was probably a carryover from that Super Bowl loss. Yeah, because one loss to start the year in Brazil, a neutral site against a good Chargers team, should not bring that much frustration. So
yeah.
I would tell Chiefs fans, chill out. It's a long season. As long as you've got Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo. Yep, I'm still saying him. I think he's a good coach, even though they gave up a bunch of points in the Super Bowl. Hang in there. You got Reid, Spagnuolo, Mahomes. You got a shot any day.
You'll be just fine.
Yep,
for sure.
This weekend, there were some good games, some big games. Green Bay with a nice win over Detroit. So one might say the Packers might be the flavor of the week, along with. In the AFC, who would the flavor of the week be, Brian?
Well, I mean, it could be a lot of teams, but I'm just going to throw out my Raiders for one.
Okay, that's fair.
That's not the right one, but
I was thinking the Bills after that crazy comeback when they had over the Ravens last night.
That was I guess you can never count a team like the Bills out.
Right.
But to overcome that fourth quarter lead like they did, and we talked here a few minutes ago, Eric, that this was the second year in a row that the Ravens opened the year with basically a play in the last seconds that affected the outcome, let's say.
Down 40-25, they went on a 16-0 run to end that baby. Walk it off with a 41-40 win.
That's just
basically
unreal. Bills fans
outscored Baltimore 22-6 in that fourth
22
quarter.
to 6.
Yep, Matt Prater nailing a 32-yard field goal as time expired, following a 1-yard touchdown run by Josh Allen at the 1:58 mark and a Keon Coleman 10-yard reception at the 3:56 mark.
Allen had one heck of a game.
Yeah, so they scored. What'd they score? 6, 7, 13. Yep, 16 points in 3 minutes and 56 seconds. That 16-0 run happened within a 4-minute span.
We all know things can happen. They took advantage of the Ravens' mistakes, and I mean, I thought Buffalo would win this game. I never dreamt Baltimore would score 40 points.
Right.
You know, they're not really known for putting up that many points in a game, but
let's just tell it like it is. As great a win as that was, that does not guarantee anything for the Bills the rest of the year. Their fans probably feel like they're on top of the world today, and they should feel that way. Sure. But it's one win from Buffalo. It's one loss for Baltimore, and that's all it is. Yeah. Dramatic as it was, it only counts for one win for them, one loss for Baltimore.
It doesn't
the season is not lost, but it would be a very demoralizing way to lose a game.
It would.
Giving up 16 points in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, for sure, but an uncharacteristic, I would say maybe. You don't see the Raven defense do that very often.
Right.
But
yeah, this idiot talking right here, I gave 2 predictions. One was Philly to win by 4 over Dallas, and the other one was Buffalo to win at home. So I guess I won both, and when I lose, I'll bring that up as well. But yeah, if anybody listened, those predictions ended up doing okay.
I know you don't throw the predictions out that often, Eric, but hey, you're 2-0. You know a little bit of what's going on. So
let's jump right into Thursday. This is fun. This is a fun one. Washington at Green Bay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At Green Bay.
Washington coming off a solid 21-6 win over the Giants, and Green Bay with the impressive win over Detroit where they led from start to finish. Yeah, they look like a Super Bowl team, but once again, that's one win for Green Bay.
You're right.
One loss for Detroit. We're not going to overblow things like some people tend to do after that first week of the season. But yeah, Green Bay 3.5 over Washington. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I honestly, as much as I'd like to see Washington win this game, I think this is the Pack's going to win.
You think that home field?
The home field will decide.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, I think it's a 4 or 5 point win. Okay. I think Washington keeps it close.
Right.
I don't think you're going to see a blowout. But yeah, that home crowd at Lambeau, that's a deciding factor in this game for sure.
Moving on to, let's go to Sunday. We have New England at Miami.
Okay.
Vegas has Miami as a 1.5 point favorite. I'll give thoughts when I see one that warrants me giving a prediction, I guess, and you can chime in as well.
Sure.
Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 3.5. Cincy's coming off a 1 point win over the Brownies, who hung in there and they fought hard.
They did.
But ultimately, Cincinnati 1-0, Cleveland 0-1. Okay, Baltimore coming off that demoralizing loss, hosts the Cleveland Browns at Baltimore, and they are a 12.5 point favorite.
Wow, that's a lot of points in the NFL.
Yeah, and what will their mindset be? I'm sure Coach John Harbaugh will have them focused by that point. But
I agree, but I don't think they cover.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll cover.
You're going to take the big number.
I would. Yep. If I was playing that, I would go with the Brownies.
You think Joe Flacco against his old team can keep him.
I think he can keep him in the game. I do. Yeah. Absolutely.
I would agree. I would agree. That wouldn't be.
I could see it at a 10-point game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anytime a team's a double-digit favorite, I tend to go with the underdog.
That's a lot in the NFL.
Yep, so I would agree with you on that one. Dallas 6 over the Giants. We don't have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, that doesn't,
Rams, a 6-point favorite at the Tennessee Titans. Rams coming off a 14-9 victory versus Houston on Sunday. Buffalo, after that emotional win, go to the Jets. Buffalo 6.5. The Jets lose a wild 34-32 game to old friend Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that had to be a tough pill to swallow as a Jets fan, but
right.
Hey, it happens.
Yep. Detroit 5 at home over the Bears, who the Bears play Minnesota tonight. Pittsburgh, a 3-point favorite at home over Seattle. San Francisco, 6-point favorite at New Orleans. Arizona, 7-point favorite at home versus Carolina. Your Denver Broncos, or your Super Bowl prediction,
sure.
2-point favorite at Indianapolis, who's coming off a very impressive, emphatic 33-8 win over Miami.
Wow. Boy, the Dolphins, it could be a long season for them.
Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas City Chiefs, 325 on Sunday.
Wow.
It's a pick 'em. Flip a coin. Give me the Chiefs.
I'm taking Chiefs here.
Give me the Chiefs. This is a bigger game for Kansas City. They're looking for revenge from that Super Bowl. This is my favorite pick. You can put me down for Kansas City at home Sunday.
And they don't want to start 0-2?
Nope.
And again, we talked about Lambeau being a deciding factor.
Mm-hmm.
Arrowhead is a deciding factor to begin with, but the fact that the Chiefs have a little chip on their shoulder, Chiefs in this one.
That's my favorite pick.
Yep.
You can put me down.
I like
Kansas City playing at home in front of a raucous crowd. Like I said, looking for revenge for that Super Bowl, looking for victory number 1 to avoid that 0-2 start. Xavier Worthy obviously will not be playing in that one, but I still like him.
I do too.
They'll find a way.
They will. I agree.
Sunday night, Atlanta at Minnesota. Minnesota 4.5-point favorite. So you can put me down for the Chiefs as my favorite pick, and you can put me down for the Browns as my secondary pick, getting that 12.5.
Lock of the week.
Spread. Yep.
Locks of the week.
And let's go back to tonight just to give that game. Minnesota at the Bears is a pick'em game. I don't have a selection there. Minnesota's got a new quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, the rookie out of Michigan's making his first start.
Yeah.
So it'd be worth it just to tune in and see how he does against a guy that got drafted in the same class last year, Caleb Williams, for the Bears. But they didn't get to compete against each other because McCarthy was obviously out for the year, and Sam Darnold had a huge year stepping in for McCarthy with the Vikings. So these two get to square off for the first time. Probably one of many duels they will have.
I look for the Bears to pull this one out, but it's kind of a pick-em game for me. That's my rooting interest. I'm pulling for the Bears.
Right. And Brian's Raiders, yes, they did have a nice win. Pete Carroll's going to do a good job there.
It's
because that's what he does. He wins.
He wins
wherever he goes.
Yeah. They made some mistakes, but they were able to get the W. Again, it's one game. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. When they lose, it's not going to bother me.
Right.
But
a 20-13 win at New England. Yeah. New England, their projection was right in that 8.5 to 9 win mark this year on the road.
It's a solid win.
Nothing not to like about that. That division is going to be fun to follow.
It should be.
I mean, I'm going to stick with the 3 teams: the Chiefs, Denver, and the Chargers getting in. But hell, the Raiders could make some noise, especially after, like I said, gaining confidence from this first win.
We'll see a much improved team, but I think they're a couple years out from making a lot of noise, but we'll see a better team from them.
So recapping, we got Royals starting a 4-game series tonight in Cleveland. We have the Huskers playing at 11 a.m. on Saturday versus Houston Christian. One more tune up before the Michigan Wolverines come to town. And we have, for Chiefs fans, that 325 tilt Sunday going against the team that destroyed them in the Super Bowl last year. Yep.
Should be a fun week of sports again, Eric. Mm-hmm. Fun weekend. Grab you some snacks. Get yourself comfy on the couch and tune in.
Yep. Thank you for listening.
Make sure you guys are telling your friends. Just tune in. Listen to us. We're not that bad. You might even like what we have to say once in a while. We will be back next week, and we'll be ready with a big Nebraska win, a Chiefs victory, and we're going to see how good we are at our picks this week.
Sounds good.